Hi.
I'd like to know about the Time Theater.
Okay. Well, the Time Community Theater's been around. There's been a theater at this spot right here in Oshkosh on Main Street since 1908. It was a vaudeville theater for a few years. Some of the first movies that got shown in Oshkosh got shown here, although I don't think the first. We used to think it was the first. But there's been movies shown here since around 1911. Was a Marcus movie theater for a long, long time.
Yeah, well, nobody can be perfect.
Right. But they stopped showing movies here in, I think it was 1992. The folks that own the whole block bought it, bought the building, and everyone in town said, oh, well, the contract says you can never show a movie there again. No, that's
well, clearly we're showing movies here,
that
so...
didn't turn out to be strictly true. In the early 2000s, someone wanted to buy the building, renovate it, and turn it into a bar. The folks who owned it didn't want to sell it. That's the Staples. They own Kits and File, the Kits and File hardware store, a few stores that way. Power Center right next door. Great landlords. They didn't want to sell it. And the fellow didn't want to renovate it if he wasn't going to own the building. Somehow that came into a community-based nonprofit came into existence around the idea of having events here again.
What would the difference be between, like, say, an AMC or a Marcus showing latest piece of crap from Hollywood and the stuff you guys show?
We've got a board. It's all volunteers. The board is all volunteers. There's no paid staff anywhere at the time. Some of our electrical stuff, we have paid folks come in to do that, but everything else is volunteers. Every January we get together around a table and decide what kind of movies we're going to show. We leave a little bit of space for community members to come in and say, no, my dream is that you show
such and such movie.
This year it was like Wrath of Khan was one that people absolutely needed to show. What else did we show this year that was somebody's passion project? We're going to be showing Serenity. That's somebody's thing that they want to do for the community. That'll be a free one.
Is it difficult to get the films or get the rights to the films, or is it just you grab a DVD and chuck it on?
For the majority of films, we can get the rights. Some of them, it's hard to find who has it.
Does it cost a lot?
It's the most significant part of our budget.
I can see that.
I don't know. I don't know. You'd say it costs a lot, but there's a cost to every movie that we show.
No, are some things more popular than others? Like, obviously, we're in October right now.
Right.
So horror movies are probably going to be more popular.
Right.
But do you ever show something and then just sit out like in an old sitcom and be like, why'd nobody come?
I think our worst one so far, we tried to do a Thursday night series to get, more folks downtown during weeknights. We did a Thursday night series, and we did it around stars or creators. And there was the Alfred Hitchcock series. We did I know North by Northwest and Psycho, and can't remember. I think we did Rear Window. Those did pretty well. We did the Sandra Bullock series, and we did Speed. That did okay. And we did Miss Congeniality. We had 5 people, and 3 of them left. 3 of them left after about 10 minutes for a movie they paid for.
I've seen that movie, and that's about accurate.
I like Miss Congeniality. I wouldn't leave if anyway.
You work a job where you're not paid. Who's going to take your opinion?
Well, fair enough. So there's some movies that do like that. Like if probably we could get 200 to 300 people if we, show Ghostbusters every year. We fill the place when we do Rocky Horror Picture Show every year.
Talking to the screen?
Yeah, there's a lot of talking. We sell bags so people can throw their rice, throw their toast, throw the confetti, cards, newspapers for the rain. There's a whole thing. But yeah,
Rocky Horror fans are weird.
I love them. I love them. I don't care about that movie even a little, but I love Rocky fans. But yeah, there's movies that do great and movies that we think will do okay and then they don't.
I wonder what would happen if you tried to show Shock Treatment.
I don't know.
Because would the Rocky Horror fans came out for Shock Treatment?
I am aware of the sequel and I do not know what would happen.
Rocky Horror fans tend to hate the sequel, strangely enough.
They do.
And I don't get that. But right now you've got on the Horror Film Festival.
Yep.
What kind of turnout has this been?
I guess the folks who are organizing it tell me it's a little bit smaller than it was last year. I'd say we have pretty solid numbers. You know, you never know what to expect. Anytime it rains, then there's 10 people who decide not to come. So I don't
That's
know.
true. So, with this being a concession stand, do I get a free soda?
Sure. If you stay around to sweep up after, you get as much soda as you can drink.